Mazda is about to be absolutely battered in the United States, where, to be honest, that's its most important car market. It doesn't make cars in America. Well, it only makes one model. So it's trying to make electric cars in China and, take some market share in China maybe, and also sell those electric cars it's making in China outside of China to countries like maybe potentially Australia, Europe as well. Mazda's new electric car in China has been surprisingly popular. In fact, this is the electric car made by a legacy automaker that has had the most success. This model has had the most success of any EV I've seen. I mean, I have not seen a Toyota EV or a Nissan EV or a Volkswagen EV or an EV from any of those brands get 20,000 pre-orders in the Chinese bloodbath within only a week's time. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Now, there's two cars that Mazda have actually revealed. One of them is called the EZ-60 SUV. And I should mention this is an EV, but there's also a non-EV. There's also a plug-in hybrid version. But Mazda also revealed the EZ-6, which is the sedan version of the same car. I personally prefer the SUV version, but let's have a look at both of them. Mazda has received nearly 20,000 pre-orders for the EZ-60, which is a remarkably good result. And they're betting on getting 300,000 annual sales in China from their joint venture. Now, I'm going to guess that Mazda are not realistically thinking they're going to sell 300,000 of these new cars in China alone by they're saying they're going to do this by 2027, within 2 years' time. So it looks to me as though Mazda are really hoping that people outside of China will buy these as well. Here are the dimensions of it. It's a pretty similar size to a Zeekr 7X, a bit bigger than a Tesla Model Y, not on the inside, but it is on the outside. As you can see, it has a very long, stylish bonnet, not very practical, but it does look cool. It's 4,850 millimeters long and 1,935 millimeters wide. It's got quite a big wheelbase at 2.9 meters. It's also got, as you can see, a very sleek aerodynamic profile, and therefore it has a very, very small boot. In fact, it's the smallest boot in a car I've seen in my entire life of reading hundreds of automotive magazines and just being obsessed with cars. I've never seen a car this big with a boot this small. Apparently, it's only about 350 liters. But other than that, this thing is cool. It has a 26.5-inch 5K ultra-wide display that integrates vehicle information, entertainment, and climate control functions. It's a very minimalist interior. I think it looks really good. In addition to that, rear passengers get touchscreens and for, entertainment and media adjustments and aircon and all that stuff. Mazda says it has an optional 23-speaker, 7-channel Dolby Atmos audio system designed for audiophiles, and that delivers immersive cinema quality sound. So it could be a pretty nice place to be. As I said before, the boot space is disappointing, 350 litres. For a car this big, it's bizarrely tiny. But if you put the rear seats down, you get 2,036 litres of space. It does have a frunk as well. It's a 126-litre front trunk. Now, I was thinking the size of that bonnet, you could maybe fit a 300-litre front trunk. But anyway, it's 126 litres. And the vehicle is built on Chang'an's EP platform. So this car isn't really made by Mazda. It's made by Chang'an in China. And they also used this platform, Chang'an did, to make the Deepal S07. The EZ-60 comes in two options. One of them is hybrid. It has a range extender, a 72 kilowatt 1.5 litre engine used solely as a generator. So essentially this car is an electric car that has a generator that will recharge the battery when it needs to be. It has a 190 kilowatt electric motor and a 31.7 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate, so LFP battery. The battery gives 160 kilometers of CLTC range, probably about 120, maybe 120 kilometers in the real world. But of course, it's a lot more, going to give you a lot more range than that, but you've got to burn fuel, you've got to burn gasoline, and it should be fairly efficient. I'm going to guess the efficiency from the numbers I've seen will be about 1.5 to 2 liters per 100 kilometers of driving, which is pretty good. That's per 60 miles of driving. You use about 1.5 to 2 liters of gasoline or petrol. Mazda has equipped the vehicle with 9 airbags, level 2 driver assistance system supported by 5 HD cameras, 5mm wave radars, and 12 ultrasonic sensors for 360-degree coverage. The battery protection system, developed with CATL and CALB, 2 battery companies apparently working together. That's very weird. I've never heard of that before. Includes 8 layers of safety measures and is designed to exceed upcoming 2026 regulatory standards in China, which are very strict. These new standards in China say batteries should not be able to catch fire, even if they're crashed into. So very strict rules there on batteries. The electric version. Mazda are staying quiet. They haven't revealed the details after quite a long time of the electric version. So at this point in time, you can only buy the hybrid version, or the, I should say, range extending hybrid version. Now, guys, I should point out that even though they've got nearly 20,000 pre-orders, you only have to get a pre-order, it costs 10 yen, which is like $2. So you can put down a $2 pre-order, meaning you lose nothing if you change your mind. So it's possible that some of these pre-orders, aren't going to totally follow through. Anyhow, the EZ-6, the sedan version of this car, this looks pretty good to me. It's a similar size. In fact, it's a little bit longer. As you can see, it has the same elongated long bonnet. Not sure what's in that bonnet underneath it, but anyway, 4,921 millimeters long. It's nearly as long as a Tesla Model S. It's 1.9 meters wide. It's essentially the same car with just some different bumpers stuck on it to make it a little bit longer. Now, the extended range version of this vehicle, there will be an electric version as well. We just don't know the details yet. It uses a 1.5 litre engine with a 160 kilowatt rear electric motor. So when you're driving, the car does not use the engine to power the wheels. It never does. It only uses the motor. So what that means is when that battery, which I'll explain in a second how big it is, when that battery starts running out of power, the engine will kick in and just generate power for the battery pack to recharge itself. That's it, nothing else. That's how EREVs all work. That means the vehicle has a total CLTC range of 1,300 kilometers when the battery and fuel tank are fully charged. Really probably closer to maybe 1,000 kilometers in the real world, which is pretty good. But that means tested fuel consumption over the entire range of driving of 3.6 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, I should say, guys, we do have EV details now for this car, which will probably translate to the SUV as well. So the EV version of this car has a 190 kilowatt motor and has a range of 480 kilometers with the smaller battery or 600 kilometers with the bigger battery pack. Fast charging can be done, it's actually not particularly fast, 30 to 80% in 15 minutes, which is not great for new Chinese cars. Standard features, it has a 14.6-inch infotainment screen, a 50-inch augmented reality heads-up display, powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8155 chip, 14-speaker Sony audio system, and some other stuff with the car that's standard for other cars. So the battery comes from CATL, and in fact, I believe this is one of the first times that a car company has used CATL's new skateboard. It's a cell-to-chassis platform. So it's a brand new thing where CATL basically do the whole thing. They build the whole skateboard for you. And if you're the car manufacturer, you just have to put a car on, basically the body of the car, the seats and everything on top of it. Really good idea, I think. It's called cell-to-chassis, CIIC. This structure enables a modular approach by separating upper and lower body sections, aiming to improve development efficiency and flexibility for upcoming electric cars. It should mean that manufacturers can go from taking 5 years to make a car if you're a legacy automaker and about 2 years if you're a Chinese one, to maybe doing it in 1 year, based on the fact that CATL is doing most of the major work for you already. Now, we don't know exactly what batteries are in this. Hasn't been released yet, but there will be an EV version, an EREV version for both cars, both the SUV and the sedan. I think they both look really good. Neither of them are very practical, considering the bonnet makes up half the car, but they certainly look sexy. You can see why people are ordering them. And I mean, really, in China, people aren't as concerned, I think, about practicality, because have a look at the Xiaomi. The Xiaomi SU7 and the new Xiaomi SUV. Both of them are not very practical. They're very big on the outside, not a lot of boot space or interior space on the inside, but they look cool. And I think that's what a lot of people care about. And the same, I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why this vehicle has been so successful. It really might help Mazda this year. Hopefully it does. And remember, keep in mind that any manufacturer can do what Mazda are doing here. Basically, it's sort of a form of contract manufacturing, getting other companies to build the car for you. And you give them a design, and then there you go. It looks like a Mazda. It looks good. People are liking it, and hopefully it works out for Mazda. What do you think, guys? Is this a vehicle that would appeal to you? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments.